lovable comedy redhead queen of my era. Well, everybody has to start somewhere. My family went through a lot of hardships when I was younger. Not a lot of Hollywood, I would say, producers or people talk about them because it's not all lights and glam. Well, I was born in Jamestown, New York, August 6, 1911. But shortly after, my family moved to Wyandotte, Michigan. But Wyandotte was having some issues due to typhoid fever, which you could get by simply eating something contained or being around somebody that was sick. My father got typhoid fever and died when I was only 3.5 years old. Well, I don't remember much of my father, but what I do remember of the day of his death is a glass picture falling and breaking into a million pieces and a bird being trapped by a window in my own house. Ever since then, I've been scared of birds. Orthophobia, trust me, it's a real thing. But anyways, without a reason, my mother being less green than a golf course staying in Wyandotte, we moved back to Jamestown while she was pregnant with my brother. But she married a terrible man when we returned to Jamestown. And this man convinced my mother that, well, you're going to leave your children behind and come with me to Detroit. And I lived with the man's parents, and due to some of our younger audience, I will not speak of the things that they did to me and my brother. It was absolutely horrific, and I would never go back to that place. But luckily, my mother came back for us, and we went back to Jamestown once again. It's not that I had a terrible childhood, it was just that I was moved around a lot. Well, once my mother decided that we were going to stay in Jamestown, I decided to head for the big city of New York, where I attended John Murray Anderson Robert Milton School of Theater and Dance. Well, since my career was almost non-existent and Betty Davis was going at the same time as me, I really had no time to stay or had a reason. So I left, went back to Jamestown, but in 1926, I decided to return to New York, not for schooling or anything of that sort, to get a job. Within my first week of New York, literally 7 days of being there, I became the head bottle girl for Chesterfield cigarettes. I became a model, and, well, I was shipped off to California to be casted in movies. Well, in 4 weeks of being in California, I got casted into the movie Too Many Girls, where I met a huge Cuban red lobster. Yep, Desi. If you've never met Desi Arnaz, he was my husband on I Love Lucy and my husband in real life. No one thought we would be married for a long time, even me. I mean, 19 years I spent with him, but I'm getting sidetracked. When me and Desi got married, we decided to start working together so we could strengthen ties in our marriage. And of course, that's when I Love Lucy became a thing. I pitched my idea to CBS about I Love Lucy, and they were worried about the backlash they might receive, of course. I mean, having an interracial couple on TV at that time was hard, and it was going to be interesting to America, I would say. But on October 15th, 1956, I Love Lucy got casted, and the American people loved it. We ran for 6 seasons, and I don't know why everyone thinks it's more. I mean, I can't deal with Desi that long. But after I Love Lucy ended, we made Desi Lou Studios. We bought RKO, where we made shows like Star Trek and The Untouchables, and we were the biggest studio in Hollywood. But unfortunately, me and Desi's marriage went without a fall. We divorced, and he decided, well, I don't want you being around in my life, so he sold me his portion of Desi Lou Studios, and I became the first influential woman to own a TV station. Even after that, when our marriage ended, we put stop to shows like the Desi Lucy Comedy Hour, which was the longest running show on television at that time. But it's okay. Since I had Desi Lou Studios, I made reruns of I Love Lucy, The Lucy Show, where my best friend Vivian Vance, known as Ethel, I played a single mother with children, and she was still my best friend. But once Vivian decided that she didn't want to travel no more, we put a stop to those kind of shows. We did 3 more reruns of I Love Lucy that were similar to it, but not the same. And, well, of course now, all I have to do is keep this trademark red hair and make sure everybody knows me down as comedy. But the one thing I must tell you all is that I am not funny, for I am as brave.